Good night, CSEC students. Welcome to another live CSEC class. This is Algebra, and we're going to be continuing factorizing quadratic expressions. So we started this last week, Tuesday. So today being Tuesday again, it's time for Algebra once more, and we're going to just do some more practice on that. We're going to go over the basic steps, and then we're going to factorize some quadratic expressions. Before we do that, I'm going to play for you our schedule of live classes. Remember that we have 5 live PEP classes per week and 5 live CSEC classes per week. So here is the schedule of classes. CSEC math students, I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So, stay tuned. Hello, scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand. All right, so welcome back. And welcome to those in the chat. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your company. Remember, you can always post your answers in the chat, post your questions in the chat, and your comments. And if you would like to join us in studio, here is the link. So I'm posting the link in the chat. Welcome, Adiana, Dinsmore, Kadriana, or Vanessa, I'm not sure which one. Dinsmore is saying there is an online crusade taking place in Jamaica right now. You'd have to elaborate on that, Dinsmore. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm going to welcome my faithful and loyal scholars to join me online. Welcome, Asar.
Good night, miss.
Welcome, Imani. Welcome, John.
Good night, miss.
Good night, scholars. All right, so we last week we ran through. Okay, Kadriana. All right, Kadriana. So last week we ran through some quadratic expressions, factorizing them. And I am pretty sure you still have it down pat. We're going to be doing some more practice. Practice makes perfect, so it's for our benefit as well as for the benefit of those who still did not quite grasp what they needed to do. So we're going to do it again. All right, so welcome, Jamani. For those in the chat who want to join us on the screen, just follow that link. That's the studio link, and you can come on in. So now I'm going to share my screen, and I should tell you that earlier while I was doing the PEP, we had some major issues. We had some major issues with the streaming, so we had to shut down. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this stream right now. If it does, we'll just shut down and continue another time. Dinsmore saying you can watch it on YouTube. Type in live stream and you will see it. Okay. All right, but that's not what we're about right now. We are about some algebra right now. All right, so let's go, guys. So let me refresh our memories on what exactly we're talking about when we say we are factorizing quadratic. So I'm going to work two examples, and then I'm going to let my scholars give them the chance to work some. So we have 6x squared minus 11x minus 35. So this is a quadratic expression. It's not an equation. To make it an equation in the form of the quadratic, we would make it equal to 0 or equal to some other term, which we would then shift everything to the left and make it equal to 0. And then normally when you're given an equation, you're asked not only to factorize, but to solve that equation. Tonight, we're focusing on just factorizing. So the steps are, we have our x squared term, our x term, and our constant term. And the first step is to multiply the coefficient of the x squared term by the constant term. We have to first ensure that the expression is in the format of the quadratic, which is ax squared. This is the general format, ax squared plus bx plus c, meaning that we need it to be in the order with the x squared term first, because for a quadratic equation, it would have an x squared term. Then we'd have our x term, if there is one, because there doesn't have to be. And then our constant term, if there is one, there doesn't have to be, in this order. So this expression is already in that order. So we're going to multiply the 6, which is the coefficient, the number in front of the x squared term. We're going to multiply the 6 by negative 35. And that gives us negative 210. The next step is to ask ourselves which two numbers multiply to give this product here and add to give the middle term in the expression. So which two numbers multiply to give negative 210 and add to give negative 11? So we could list out all the pairs of factors that multiply to give 210. You don't have to. If you have developed the skill, and the more you practice solving quadratic equations or just factorizing expressions, you will get better and better at finding out the two factors that multiply to give multiply to give the product of the coefficients and add to give the middle term. So, and if you want more practice in setting out the pairs of factors and then looking at them to see, you can check out the video that we did last week where we went more in depth in that. For this week, we're going to take it up a notch and we're just going to see if we can figure out the factors. So the two numbers that multiply to give negative 210 and add to give negative 11 would be negative 21 and positive 10. So when you multiply them, you get a negative 210. When you add them, you get a negative 11. So the next step would be now to replace the negative 11x with negative 21x and positive 10x. So we're going to replace this. So we'll write back the 6x squared. Instead of negative 11x, we're going to put negative 21x plus 10x. And we're going to write back the negative 35. So once we have done this now, we're going to pair them up. So these two together, we're going to factorize. These two together, we're going to find the common factors. So the common factors of 6x squared and negative 21x would be 3x. 3 can go into both terms. If we pull out 3x from 6x squared, we're left with 2x. And if we pull out 3x from negative 21x, we're left with negative 7. For these two factors, 10x and minus 35, 5 is common. So we're going to put 5 on the outside. X isn't common this time because this term doesn't have an x. So if we pull out 5 from 10x, we're left with 2x. And if we pull out 5 from negative 35, or in other words, if we divide negative 35 by 5, we're going to get negative 7. So 2x minus 7, you should have the same thing in the brackets here. 2x minus 7 is common. It's a common factor. So we write it there. And the other two terms, we put them together, the 3x and the positive 5. So this is our answer. We have now factorized it. But I just want to show you something, that when you have factorized your quadratic, if you want to check that it is correct, so this is the answer, right? That's the answer, you're done. But just to check if it's correct, we can expand the two factors using the distributive law and then simplify the expression, and we should get back the original expression. So let's do that to check. So 2x times 3x would be 6x squared. 2x times 5 would be 10x. Negative 7 times 3x would be negative 21x. Negative 7 times 5 would be negative 35. And so grouping the like terms now, so we have 6x squared. 10x minus 21x is negative 11x. And we have minus 35. So there we have our original expression, 6x squared minus 11x minus 35, right? So that's how we know we are correct. So look at that and give me some feedback. Tell me if you understand what we have done. Welcome Zion, welcome Ngozi. Okay. I'm also seeing Ladena. I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing your name properly. Ladena. Welcome everyone. Those in the chat, post your answers. So Dinsmore is saying he got negative two, so he said 10, negative 2, 18, and 10. Those are the factors of negative 210. I'm not sure I'm getting what you're saying, Dinsmore. If we multiply those two numbers, we don't get negative 210. All right, so let's continue. So far, so good. Our stream is running. All right, Vanessa is saying, hold on. Kadiana is saying she doesn't understand how we got the answer. All right, so we're going to revise this and we're also going to do another example, and then I'm going to allow my scholars to do some on their own. So what we did first, we multiplied the coefficient of the x squared term, which is 6, by the constant term, which is a negative 35. So when we multiply those, we get negative 210. Then we ask ourselves which two numbers multiply to give negative 210 and add to give the coefficient of the x term, or the middle term, negative 11. And remember, we had to first make sure that the expression was in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, which is the general form of the quadratic, where we have the x squared term first, then the x term if there is one, then the constant term if there is one. So I realized that negative 21 times 10 gives negative 210, and negative 21 plus 10 gives negative 11. So the next step is to replace the negative 11x by negative 21x and positive 10x. And then we group these two terms and factorize them. Pull out the common factor to the front and divide each term by the common factor and write what's left. And we did the same thing for this pair. So by this stage, we should realize that the factor in the bracket here is the same here. And so that's a common factor, and we write it by itself here. And what's left back outside, we put it together and write it here. Let's work another one. So we have x squared minus 3x is equal to 40. So the first thing I notice is that it is not yet in the quadratic form. Remember, the quadratic form has the x squared term, then the x term, and then the constant term. In this case, the constant term is on the right. So I need to bring it over with the other two terms. So I would now have x squared minus 3x, and this positive 40 moving over will become a negative 40 equals 0, which is an equation, but we're not going to solve it. We're just going to factorize it. So to multiply the coefficient of the x squared term by the constant term. The coefficient of the x squared term here is 1. The constant term is negative 40. 1 times negative 40 is negative 40. So I'm to ask myself which two numbers multiply to give negative 40 and add to give the middle term, which is -3. So I would say -8 and +5. When we multiply them, we get -40. When we add them, we get -3. So we're going to replace the -3x with -8x and +5x. We write back the x squared, and we have -8x plus 5x. I could have put the 5x first and then the -8x, which would probably even be more convenient since we would be putting the -40 closer to the -8 closer to the -40. They are both negative, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's just an elegant way of doing it, putting the terms closest to the other terms that they share direct common factors with. But in any case, so the x squared minus 8x, the common factor here is x. And if we divide each of these terms by x, we're going to be left with x minus 8. The common factor for the 5x minus 40 is 5. X is not common. If we divide each of these terms by 5, we're left with x minus 8. And remember, I told you that you should have the same thing in the bracket by the time you get here, which we do. So now we're going to write that. And then the other two left out here will be x minus 5. So just like I did, so these, we're done here, now we factorize. These are the two factors. But we're just gonna check by expanding the factors using the distributive law to see if we get back our original equation. X times x is x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x. -8 times x is -8x. Sorry, this is a so x times x, x times -5. This should be a +5, sorry. X plus 5, this one. All right, so this should also be a +5. And -8 times 5 is -40. So we have x squared. 5x minus 8x is -3x. And we have the -40. So we got back our original equation. Not this one, because this wasn't yet in the quadratic format, right? So this one we're talking about. All right, so now I'm going to let my scholars try some. So this is x squared minus 14x plus 48. All right, Imani, you go.
Okay, miss. So we're going to change it into an equation. So we're going to put equals 0 at the end. And it's already in the format that we want it to be. So we're going to just multiply the n numbers.
So hold on, Imani. We're not putting 0 at the end. It's an expression, and all we're doing is factorizing. We're not solving it, right?
Oh, okay, miss.
It's fine. All right,
Okay.
so you're saying I should do what? Multiply?
Miss, multiply the coefficient of x squared and 48, miss, which is 1, miss. So
Okay,
1
so
times
the coefficient of the x squared is 1.
Yes, miss. Times
So
48.
1 1 times 48, which is
which is 48, miss. And we're going to
48.
see which factors of 48 um, add up to give negative 14. So
Mm-hmm.
to get 48, you could have negative 24 and negative 2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this negative, negative, sorry, negative 12 and negative 4.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, you all have negative 8, negative 6. Miss, and those negative 8 and negative 6. Oh, you also that could be used, miss.
All right. So we don't need to go any further.
No, miss. So it would be x squared minus 8x minus 6x plus 48. And now we're going to factorize them. So we can use negative x to factorize the x
These
squared.
two.
Yes, miss.
Why negative x?
Miss, because um x can go in. Oh wait, positive x. So x into x squared is going to be x, and x into negative 8x is going to be negative 8. Mm, okay, miss. And then for the next one, we could use negative 6. So negative 6 into negative 6x is x, and negative 6 into 48 is negative 8. And now we're going to put x minus 6 in one bracket and x minus 8 in the other.
Okay.
Means we're going to go try to put it back into the
All right. So you want to test it? All right.
atoms. So x times x is x squared,
Mm-hmm.
and x times negative 8 is negative 8x,
Mm-hmm.
and negative 6 times x is negative 6x,
Mm-hmm.
and negative 6 times negative 8 is positive 48.
Mm-hmm.
And we can simplify the 8x and 6x, so it would be negative 14x. So x squared minus 14x plus 48.
Okay, which is just what we started with, right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so thank you, Imani.
Yes, miss.
All right, Asar.
Yes, miss.
So it's x squared minus 2x minus 15.
X squared. So x squared is equal to 1. So 1 times times negative 15, because negative 15 and 1 are the end numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get negative 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then we write the factors of 15, of
Mm-hmm.
negative 15, sorry. So 1 and negative 15, 3 and negative 5, 15 and negative 1. And then at the top, um, negative 5 and negative 3, sorry, 5 and negative 3. And negative 1 and 15. Or, yeah, okay, we're done. So which one of those gives negative 2? That would be 3 and negative 5.
Mm-hmm.
So then we write back x squared
use a different color.
plus 3x minus 5 minus 15
Minus 5x.
minus 5x minus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then x is common in that, and
Mm-hmm.
x into x goes x times, x into x goes x times, and x into 3x goes 3 times. Negative 5 is common. Negative 5 into negative 5x goes x times, and negative 5 into negative 15 goes 3 times.
So should I put a positive or a negative 3?
Positive 3. So we have 5 minus 5. So we have x minus 5
Mm-hmm.
and x plus 3.
All right, so that's it. So you're factorized. Do you want to check or you want to leave it like that?
Oh, we can check it.
All right, so let's check. Let me use another ink to check. All right, so we're going to expand using the distributive law.
So that would be x multiplied by x.
Mm-hmm.
X multiplied by 3.
Tell me what to do.
So x squared plus 3x minus 5x minus 15.
Tell me what you're multiplying to get these. So how I
I'm,
got the x squared?
I'm multiplying x and x to get
So
x squared.
x times x, and then
X,
x times 3 to get the 3x, and then negative 5 times x to get the negative 5x, and negative 5 times 3 to get the negative 15. All right, so what do I do from here?
then you subtract the 3x and minus 5x.
And that
So
would give what?
negative 2x.
So
So
what would I write now?
x squared minus 2x minus 15.
Is that what we started with?
Yes, miss.
All right, so this proves that we are correct. Thank you, Asar. All right, John.
Yes, miss. I am ready.
All right, so yours is x squared
Yes.
minus
Sorry.
x
Man.
minus 42.
Okay, miss. So I'm going to do 1 times negative 42, miss.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives negative 42.
Mm-hmm.
So miss, we're going to find the factors of 42, and we're going to see which one when we add them, miss, we get the negative x.
Negative 1.
Negative one, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So miss, factors of negative 42. Negative 6 times 7 is negative 6 times 7.
Mm-hmm.
Negative 7 times 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Negative 21 times 2.
Mm-hmm.
Negative 2 times 21.
Mm-hmm.
14, negative 14 times 3.
Times 3, right?
Yes, miss. And negative 3 times negative 3 times 42.
Do you see any of them yet that would add to give negative 1? Because once you find it, you don't have to list out all of them. That would take up a lot of
Yes, miss.
time. So
Yes,
once
miss.
you see the two of them, you can go ahead. So which pair would add to give -1?
Miss -6 plus 7.
Would that give a -1? This would
Oh
give
no,
a
miss.
+1.
Yes, miss. -7 plus 6.
Okay. And bear in mind, the coefficient here is -1. The coefficient here is +1. We don't write the 1, but we know that it's there. All right, so what do we do now?
Miss, we're going to uh, uh okay, miss, we're going to so we're going to find the number that can go into 1 squared and 1 is, which is 1 r
No,
is
John,
x.
replace the
X.
-x with -7x plus 6x.
Oh yes, yes, miss. So it's going to be x squared
Mm-hmm.
minus 7 plus 6 minus 42.
7x
7,
plus
7x
6x. Don't forget
plus
the
6x,
x's.
plus
Okay.
6x minus 4.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I miss. Wait, then,
Say that again.
okay, okay. I miss. We then find the number that can both go into x squared and 7x miss, which is x.
Mm-hmm.
So, x, so x squared divided by x is x miss. And 7x divided by x is 7.
This is a negative
But minus 7.
7x.
Yes, minus 7. Okay. Now for this plus 6x miss, we're going to find the number that can both go into 6x and negative 42. Right, 42. Miss, that would be 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we're going to put bracket. Miss. 6 into 6x goes 1 time. So
Goes
this is
x.
x, x, x. And 6 into 42 means that goes 7, so this
This is
will
a
be minus 7.
negative. This is a -42, John. Don't forget the sign.
That means I said minus 7.
Yeah, but I need you to say the -42 as well.
Okay.
All right, so what do we do here?
This we would then put um x minus 7 in a bracket and
Mhm.
x minus 6 in a x minus 6 in a bracket.
Okay. X, is that a -6?
All of this is a plus 6.
Okay. Okay, so are you done?
Yes, miss. Well, miss, I could expand the bracket and try to see if
All
I get
right.
about the same.
Okay, so you're going to check.
So, yes.
All right,
So
so
miss will
using
be
the distributive law, let's expand. So it's x times x, and that will give.
x squared, miss.
Mhm.
Okay, and x times negative 6 would give you
Positive 6.
of this plus. Okay, miss, it would be plus 6x.
Mhm.
And this would be negative 7 times x, which would give you negative 7x.
Mhm.
And x and negative 7 times negative 6.
Why do you keep
That's
calling
positive
this a
6.
-6, John?
Miss, because I can't really see. Miss, it froze after you put the 6. That's
Oh,
why. So
So
Miss,
negative 7
um,
times positive 6.
Miss, that's negative 42.
All right.
Okay. So Miss, you put the like terms together,
Mm-hmm.
which would be this negative 7x and 6x. So negative 7x plus 6x would give you a negative x.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss would first put back the x squared and then it'd be minus x minus 42.
All right. And is that what we started with?
Yes, Miss.
All right. So let me see what's going on here. So everybody got a chance to do one. All right. So you're gonna do one more each. And if we have
Miss,
time,
Miss,
you do another one.
Miss,
Yes,
I was going
John?
to ask you a question.
Go
Miss, I was
ahead.
going to ask if I could go get some water.
Sure, go ahead. All right, so
Thank you.
Imani, back to you for your next one.
Okay, Miss.
All right, so your next one is x squared plus x equals 12.
Okay, Miss. So we want to get it into the order of a oh sorry, Miss, x squared plus bx plus c, Miss. So we're going to carry over the 12, or try to get the 12 on the other side. So we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. So it's going
Mm-hmm.
to be x squared plus x minus 12.
Okay.
So now we're going to multiply the coefficient of x squared and negative 12 to get
Mm-hmm.
two factors that can add to give positive 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. And the factors of
Mm-hmm.
negative 12 are oh, negative 6. Oh, sorry, 2 and negative 6. Um, oh, 6 and negative 2. 3 and negative 4, and 4 and negative 3. So, miss, the pair that would give us positive 1 is 4 and negative 3. So we're going to put x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12. So now we're going to factorize it. So we're going to start with oh, x, means x can be put into x squared and 4x. So x into x squared is x times, and x into 4x is positive 4.
Mm-hmm.
And for the second part, we can use negative 3. And negative 3 into negative 3x is x, and negative 3 into negative 12 is positive 4, since when you divide two negatives, you get a positive.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first bracket, we'd have x minus 3, and in the second, we'd have x plus 4. And now we can put it back. We can try to get it back to our original state. So
All
x
right,
times,
so this is the answer. These are the factors. So what we're
yes,
doing now is just to check, right?
yes, miss.
Okay.
So x times x is x squared,
Mm-hmm.
and x times 4 is positive 4x.
Mm-hmm.
Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times 4 is negative 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, miss. And now we can simplify to x squared um positive 4 minus positive 4x minus 3x is um 1x or x, so plus x minus 12.
Okay, very good.
Yes, miss.
Alright. Okay, Asar, here's your next one. So we have x squared plus 3x is equal to 28.
The first thing we have to do is bring over the 28 to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So x squared plus 3x minus 28 is our new formula.
All right, so x squared plus 3x minus 28, okay, equals 0. All
Then
right,
we find the factors. Then we multiply negative 28 and 1. So negative 28 multiplied by 1.
which is,
Negative 28.
all right,
And then the factors of negative 28 are 4 and 7. 4 and negative 7. Sorry, 1,
so,
1 and negative 28.
okay, so 1, negative 28,
4 and negative 7.
4 and negative 7,
2 and negative 14.
2, negative 14,
28 and negative 1.
mm-hmm.
7 negative 4. And 14 negative 2.
Okay, so which two add to give the middle term, which is 3?
7 and negative 4.
Okay,
Then we
so
can. So x squared
x squared
minus 4x plus 7x minus 28. So x is common
remember
in the
this is an equation. Even though we're not gonna solve it, we still have to put back the equals 0, right?
okay.
All right. So we're grouping these two terms. So what's common?
X
Mm-hmm.
x into x squared goes x times. X into negative 4 goes negative 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
7 is common. 7 into 7x goes x times. 7 into negative 28 goes negative 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
And so we get x plus 7 and x minus 4 is equal to 0. And then that's our answer.
All right. Okay. You want to expand it or not?
So that would be x times x, which is x squared.
All right, so let me use a different color just to show that this is the actual answer. So what we're doing now is just to expand to check. So x times x would be x squared.
X times negative 4 is negative 4x.
Mm-hmm.
7 times x is 7x.
All right.
7 times negative 4 is negative 28
Mm-hmm.
equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
So x squared Negative 4x plus 7x is 3x
Mhm.
minus 28 is equal to 0.
All right,
And
and that was our original equation. See, we get back our original equation. So we can expand factors to get back our original quadratic equation or expression. Is John back?
Yes, Miss, I'm back.
All right, John. So your equation is 6x squared is equal to 120 plus 6x.
Okay, then. Yes. But so, Miss, we would bring over the This will bring over the 120 and the plus 6x plus
Mm-hmm. All right, so we'd have what?
6x squared
Mm-hmm.
minus 120 minus 6x.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss, we're trying to find it. So Miss, it be 6.
Equals zero, don't it?
Yes, yes, Miss, equal.
If we're bringing them over, we have a zero left back over here. All right, so what next?
So Miss, we'd have to, Miss would find the number in the middle. So
Find the
Miss would
number
be
in the
6,
middle.
Miss 120, Miss, negative 120.
Huh?
As I was saying, we'd find negative 120.
What do you mean you'd find the
Oh,
negative
no, you
120?
have to put it in the order. You have to put it in the order.
Is
It
it
should.
in the quadratic format as yet?
Oh, no. No, no.
So what should
So
we
Miss,
write?
6x squared
Mm-hmm.
minus 6x
Mm-hmm.
minus 120
Mm-hmm.
equals 0.
All right.
So must it be 6 times negative 120.
All right, but before you do that, John, you can look to see if you can simplify the equation.
Okay,
Do they have any common terms you can cancel? But it has to be something that can cancel all three of them.
okay. Oh, yes,
You
miss.
can cancel two and leave back one. So is there anything that we can use to cancel
Yes,
all three? What can we
yes, miss.
use?
Miss, we could use 6.
All right, so 6 into this goes,
Miss, 1 times x squared.
all right,
And 6 into 6x, miss, that goes x times. So miss, it would be minus x.
6 into negative
Yes,
6x
6
goes,
into negative 6x goes
okay,
1 times. So it would be minus x. And the 6 into 120, it's negative 120. That goes negative 20 times.
all right. So doesn't the equation look much better?
Yes, miss. So this should be
All right,
this should be 1 times negative 20,
which
which
is,
is negative 20.
all right,
Okay, miss. So miss, we're going to find the factors of negative 20. Negative
mm-hmm,
2 times 10.
mm-hmm,
Okay, negative 10 times 2.
mm-hmm.
4 times negative 5. Okay, so miss, I found the two numbers that would give negative x. Miss, and
Negative
that's
1, negative
negative 1.
1.
Yes, negative 1.
Mm-hmm.
Miss, that's 4 plus negative 5.
4 times negative. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so if we put that back into the equation, so it'd be x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 5x minus 20 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so miss with okay, so miss for the first part, we tried to find the common terms, which is x.
Mm-hmm.
So x into x squared goes x times yourself over x, and x into 4x goes 4 times, so plus 4. And the common term for this is 5, negative 5. Okay, so negative 5 into 5x goes x goes negative, no, let's go x times. And negative 5 into negative 20, that goes 4 times, so plus positive 4. Let's look at expand it. Oh wait, sorry. It would be x plus 4 and x minus 5. X,
Mm-hmm.
okay, equals 0. So let's back it.
All right. Okay, so let me.
I love you quite fun doing this. So like that's such a hard.
All right. So okay. So each person can get one more. Okay.
Okay, miss.
So we don't have to check it this time. Just work it out. Factorize it. Okay.
Yes, yes, miss.
All right. So each person gets one more, and then we wrap it up. All right, Imani. So yours is 15x squared plus 1 equals 8x.
Okay, miss. So to get it into the format, we'll have to subtract 8x from both sides. So it will be 15x squared um, minus 8x plus 1. So we're going to
You're
multiply.
not done. Come to the equal.
Oh, equals 0, sorry.
All
To
right.
show that we took the x from that side. So
Mm-hmm.
15 plus 15 times 1 is 15, and um 2 factors of 15 that would add to give negative 8, means it's negative 5 and negative 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 15x squared minus 5x minus 3x plus 1 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to factorize them now. So common factor 15x and negative 5x is going to be 5x,
15x squared.
15x squared, sorry, 5x.
Mm-hmm.
And 5x into 15x squared is going to leave 3x. And 5x into 5x is negative 1. Sorry, negative 5x is negative 1. And for the second part, we're going to use negative 1. So negative 3x divided by negative 1 is 3x. And negative 1 1 divided by negative 1 is negative 1. So it's going to be 5x minus 1 and 3x minus 1.
Okay. Alright, so those are our factors, so we have factorized. Thank you, Imani. Asar, your expression is x squared plus 5x x squared plus 5x plus 4.
One times 4 is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to write out the factors?
No, just send me
Well,
the two that add to give 5.
4 and 1.
Alright, so 4 and 1
So x squared plus 1,
plus 1
1x plus x
x. Mm-hmm.
plus 4x plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then the common factor is x. So x into x squared goes x times, and x into x goes 1 times. So plus
Mm-hmm.
1. 4 into 4, the common thing is 4. So 4 into 4, x goes x times. And 4 into 4 goes 1 times. So we're left with x plus 4 and x plus 1.
Okay. Alright, and these are our factors. So we have factorized. So John, the last one,
Okay.
3x squared is equal to negative 8 plus 10x.
Okay, so we bring over everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we should be plus, so it will be 3x squared plus 8 minus 10x equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this would have to rearrange it again. That means 3x,
Alright.
so this would be 3x squared minus 10x plus 8 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, which we then multiply the 3 and the 8 together, which will give 24.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to try and find the factor. That gives negative 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second.
Okay, list the factors then.
Okay. Let me see. Factors of 24. It's negative 3 and negative 3 times negative 8.
Mm-hmm.
Negative, it's negative 6 times negative 4.
Mm-hmm.
Which that gives you negative 10x.
Alright, so when we add these two, we get negative 10x. Alright.
Okay, so 3x squared minus 6x minus 4x plus 8 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's do 3x squared minus. Okay. Oh, sorry. This we're going to find which number is common, and that would be 3.
Come on to what?
Let's do the let's come on with the 3x squared and the 6x. Miss that would be,
Negative 6x.
yes, it's negative 6. Miss
Alright,
that
so
would be
what's common?
Miss x.
Just x?
Yes, miss.
Just x is common?
Miss, 3x. 3x.
Okay.
So 3x, so 3x squared means that
Mhm.
would give x okay. And 3x into negative 6x means that goes negative 3 then. So means it will minus 3. I can see that. Okay, and we're going to miss the 4 is commonness. 4 is common.
Negative 4x
Negative 4
was common. Negative 4 is common. Mhm.
Okay. So negative 4 into negative 4 x means that gives x positive.
Mhm.
Negative 4 into 8 means that gives minus 2. That's negative 2.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Equal.
it's equal 0.
Mhm.
Okay, so it should be x minus 2 and x minus 4.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Oh, x minus 3x.
3x
Yes,
minus
yes.
4.
Oh, 3x. Okay.
All right, so that's it. So each person did 3.
Yes, miss.
All right. Yes, scholars. So I'm sure you guys know what you're doing. I'm sure you know what you're doing. So I feel satisfied that you know what you're doing. And for those in the chat, if you still have any questions, just drop them and I'll respond. If you watch over the video and you have questions, drop it in the comments section below the video and I will respond. So thank you to everyone for joining us and we'll catch you again tomorrow. Same time,
Same
same
place.
place.
Bye, miss.
I
Bye,
miss.
Star. Bye, Imani. Bye, John.
I miss.
Hello, CSEC math students. I know you are busy preparing for your math tests and your CSEC exams coming up. I have a very important question to ask you. Do you like my new hat? Thank you. Now, another important question. Have you ever gotten a math problem wrong simply because of making one little mistake? I'm sure you have, as thousands of other students have. Now, in this series, we're going to be looking at the common mistakes that students make with all the topics in CSEC Math. We're going to look at the common errors, demystify everything. Make sure you watch every video in this series so that you can avoid making those mistakes. So stay tuned. Hello scholars. Did you know that most times when students get problems wrong in mathematics is as a result of one single error or one mistake? Well, this is absolutely true, and we're going to be looking at the common errors that students make in the different topics in mathematics. If we know the errors beforehand, we can certainly avoid making them. Are you ready? Come on, take my hand.